I can recall a certain magic where you are. I'm under your spell each time that you appear. A kiss so passionate that has me mesmerized. I fall more in love each time that you're near. Starlight, star bright, your kiss shines very far, like the brightest star. Oh, yeah, sweet things you do makes my heart aglow. I want you to know they remind me how lucky I'm falling in love with you. They remind me, oh, how lucky I'm falling in love with you. Cut me close and whisper soft and low, three little words that mean so much to me. You know just how to make my feelings show. Fall more in love each time that you're near. Starlight, star bright, your kiss shines very far, like the brightest star. Oh, yeah, sweet things you do sets my heart aglow. I want you to know they remind me how lucky I'm falling in love with you. They remind me, oh, how lucky I'm falling in love with you. They remind me, oh, how lucky I'm falling in love with you. They remind me, oh, how lucky I'm falling in love with you.
You're listening to CIUT 89.5 FM, and this is the program Live from Studio 2. Every week we're joined by a different artist live in our music studio here at CIUT. And this week we have Seyblu, aka Chelsea Bennett. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're joining us with a new album on the horizon, coming out in spring?
Yep, spring of 2025.
Spring of 2025, and a recent single release with Foggy, which came out a few weeks ago. We'll talk more in length about the new album at a later point in this hour, but briefly, what's the name of the record? What's it called? When's it coming out? We already talked about that. Any plans for a release show as well?
I do have plans for a release show, and at the moment, I don't know exactly when that will be, but the whole album's called Daydream, and it's a compilation of songs that I wrote over the last 3 years, and they kind of come together in different ways, but I decided to call it Daydream because it kind of is a bunch of little dreamy moments and things that I've experienced, both intense and lovely. Like, it kind of like is a variety of emotions, but yeah, that's the plan so far.
Okay, very exciting. We're all going to take a look come springtime and check it out.
Sweet.
As our listeners have already heard from that first tune, you're a very accomplished vocalist, very accomplished keyboardist as well. I wanted to ask you a little bit about how you got to this point. What was your upbringing like?
Yeah, my family, I have a lot of musicians in my family, and my dad's side of my family, and they mostly come from classical music backgrounds. So my aunt's an opera singer, my uncle's a pianist and a composer, and my other uncle's a conductor, and a lot of my cousins have studied music.
Oh, that's so much
a lot of them came to U of T, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then when I was about 15, in a kind of like shy way, I said to my dad, like, I just don't want to keep studying classical music. Like, it's not fulfilling. Like, I'm not excited about it.
And at that point, were you like studying classical voice? Were you also doing the keyboards?
Yeah, mostly classical voice. Studying classical piano was kind of just like the rite of passage in our family. Everyone, you get to grade 8 or whatever. But when I was 15, I switched to jazz, and I actually went to Peterborough, because I'm from Campbellford.
Okay.
To study piano and voice with a jazz piano player.
Who was that?
Rob Phillips.
Rob Phillips.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's my guy. So I worked with him for a very long time. Like, I would say the first 7 years of my career. I was just like starting to perform jazz music all over Peterborough, and that was my thing for a while until I moved away. I kind of realized I actually don't want to be singing jazz standards for the rest of my life. I've always
Happens
written
to many of us, yeah.
Yeah, like at some point, if you can be satisfied singing jazz standards, amen. Go live your life.
They're standards for a reason.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and you can reinvent them for yourself and have a beautiful life, I'm sure. But for me, I always wrote my own music, and it was kind of just that burning desire that was like, why am I not doing this thing that I love to do?
Yeah.
So when I was about 23 or 4, I guess, I started to make an EP, my first EP, as Chelsea Bennett. And so that's out there for listening. Yeah. If anybody wants to hear it. But Chelsea Bennett became the sort of association with my jazz career for me, and also sounds like a jazz singer name.
It does.
I think.
It really does.
Yeah, which is fine. It's a beautiful name, but I really wanted to establish for myself that I was really interested in making a lot of other stuff that sounded like weird.
Yeah.
So I came up with Seyblu, which is a combination of Chelsea and my sort of secret writing alias for a long time, Blue.
Okay, cool. I see the say coming from end of Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I kind of was thinking about Seyblu as either Seyblu or Seyblu, given that it's Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
And both would be fine.
Cool.
But I usually just say Seyblu. And so, yeah, that's kind of where it all began. When I was 16, I started studying voice with a voice coach in Toronto named Mika Barnes. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I've
he's
met Mika.
wonderful. So I've been seeing him since I was 15 or 16 years old.
Fabulous.
Long time. And then I went to Humber for 1 year in the vocal jazz program.
Yeah.
Contemporary music program, as they call it. And decided not to go back because I really just wanted to write, and I knew that at the time. But I still love jazz, and I still love writing music that can have jazz elements. But most important, I just want to be a songwriter. I want to be the best songwriter I can possibly be, and I just want to write songs for the rest of my life. So,
well, I mean, that's a beautiful thing that you have such a clear direction, that you know exactly what you want there. And now you're very established in Toronto. Was Humber kind of like a gateway to that world? Obviously, Mika Barnes also being here. How was that transition coming to the city like?
Yeah, I guess it was, in hindsight. I went to 1 year of Humber. It really shook me musically. I was really confused after that first year, and it was a huge decision for me to not go back. It was like, what do I want out of music? And it kind of made me realize that I don't know what I want. And so I kind of quit music low key for maybe 4 years or so, because I moved downtown Toronto, and I was doing little gigs around the city and being a jazz singer. And then I moved to Europe for 2 years, actually. In that amount of time, kind of realized, like, everywhere I went, I just sang. And it was like, I couldn't escape it, kind of. Like, everywhere you go, there you are. It's like I was becoming a singer every time I didn't try. And so I was just trying to do everything except for music. And I felt
And
like...
just found your way back.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. It kind of found me. It was just like, you don't have a choice here. Like, so I feel like that was a really important time for me to leave Toronto behind, sort of figure out what matters to me. And I felt like at the time I had lost a lot of those connections, and that maybe I wasn't going to be able to rekindle them when I came back, because when I came back, I was like, it's music. Like, that's what I'm going to do now. But I did. I did actually end up rekindling a lot of those friendships and using a lot of those connections that I had built, which I didn't even build that many, I don't think. But the ones that I did, they were like, hey, I remember you. Like, you want to do cool. Like, my producer on my album is somebody I met at Humber.
Wow.
In that first year. Yeah. We didn't really like know each other at the time, but we remembered each other. So yeah, it definitely like started something for me. I think I really needed to kind of go away, figure myself out, and come back so that I knew what I wanted to do with it.
Like that conviction that you had saying, I want to write songs, that only really came after trying your best to get away from it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed to
Funny how that works sometimes.
It's, feel like you just can't plan it.
Of course. Well, I'd love to hear some of those songs that you've written for us. We're coming into another set with Backwards and Caught Me by Surprise in it.
Yes.
And Backwards, which was released in 2022.
Yes,
is that right?
I think it's 2022. Yeah.
A few years back.
Yeah.
And then Caught Me by Surprise, which is off of this upcoming album.
Yeah.
Would you be able to just tell us a little bit about your process with these songs, what they mean to you, and give any context for our listeners to keep in mind while they're listening to them?
Yeah. So Backwards, so maybe I should say first, I do these songwriting challenges where you write a song a day for a month. And I started it because my cousin Ben Finley, shout out, he's an amazing bass player.
Cool.
And he actually went to U of T. He moved to LA to go to Cal Arts, and his Cal Arts friends, who were all these like really eclectic experimental music people, had started this online forum for people who wanted to write a song a day for a month. And you just uploaded it every day. It was this beautiful community of people where there were really no boundaries. And it was more about writing from the heart, doing something consistent, and doing something for yourself where you could flex that muscle, get inspired. And so there was just no boundaries. It was like anything that you consider a song could go up that day.
I mean, that's good. That's a lot of songs.
It's a lot of songs.
And not a lot of time.
Yeah.
I think I've written 4 songs in the last 2 years.
Yeah, which is fine. It's fine. But
hey,
there is
very impressive,
something to be said for like letting go and just allowing yourself to put something out, like into a DAW, or maybe it's on your phone, or maybe it's on paper every single day, because even just that one like practice or that exercise shows you that like it's not that precious.
Yeah. I like that you're saying exercise, it's a muscle, like you've got this kind of analogy going.
Yeah.
I think that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. And it really helped me get out of my perfectionism brain that like everything I wrote had to be great, and I had to be so sure that it was going to be coming out. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can create for yourself, Yeah. So that's how I wrote those 2 songs. And the first one, Backwards, came out of me in like 30 seconds. Like, I feel like I just started writing. I think I had a guitar. I don't even play guitar, but I was like plucking something, or I can't remember my keys. And then it just like all came out at once. And I was like, okay, that was too easy. This can't be a very good song. And I wasn't going to put it out. And then I think it was like one of my friends or my partner listened to it and was like, you have to put this out. Yeah. Like, this is such a great song. And I was like, you're not thinking clearly. Like, no, that can't be. But it really can be that easy some days.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's so much lore about amazing songs being written that quickly.
For sure.
Yeah, and hey, you've tapped into it.
And then for Caught Me by Surprise, which is the one that's coming out on the album, it it was a similar experience, but it was really easy to write. But I felt like maybe it wasn't a song for me, and I was kind of excited to pitch it to some other artists to be like, would you be interested in like recording this?
Yeah.
But with the pandemic and with all of our like lack of connection and not seeing each other, I was like, okay, I think I just have to put this out. And I still love it. But it wasn't originally kind of intended for me, I think.
Okay.
So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear them both. You're listening to Chelsea Bennett, aka Seyblu, or Seyblu on occasion, performing live here from Studio 2 on CIUT 89.5 FM.
Most people just stay close, wearing their armor everywhere they go. You're just a grizzly bear, all for show. Since it began in the ballroom, to holding hands every chance we could, you showed a softer side of you to me. When everything is just backwards, you stay facing me. You're the rock in my rapids, I can feel your heartbeat. When everything is just backwards, you stay facing me. You're the rock in my rapids, you can feel my heartbeat. Feel my heartbeat. No, others miss the point with flowers and jewelry. You got me with coffee, humor, and honesty. It was slow to get to know me, like it's 2003. Since it began with a dance move, I noticed you had a steady groove, drawing me closer and close to you. Yeah, yeah. When everything is just backwards, you stay facing me. You're the rock in my rapids, I can feel your heartbeat. When everything is just backwards, you stay facing me. You're the rock in my rapids, you can feel my heartbeat. Oh, you can feel my heartbeat. Take for granted how you treat me. I'm enchanted, I'm still spinning. Whatever it is, a beginning for me. No, I won't ever take for granted how you treat me. I'm enchanted, I'm still spinning. Whatever it is, a beginning for me. Take for granted how you treat me. I'm enchanted, I'm still spinning. Whatever it is, whatever it is. as I try, I can't stop thinking about the way you blow my mind. That look in your eyes when you call to me, I know that you are mine. Be true, my dear, I know it's early to tell. Is it still going well? I've never felt this way about anyone else. Is it still going well? Oh, as time goes, we only grow closer. I'm never tired of learning about you more. Oh, you caught me by surprise. 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 Will days become years? Will you share with me your dreams, your flaws, your fears? You've opened my heart to give love a chance, to show us where to start. Be true, my dear, I know it's early to tell. Is it still going well? But I've never been so sure as when your hand is in mine. When your hand is in mine. Oh, as time goes, we only grow closer. I'm never tired of learning about you more. Oh, you caught me by surprise. 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 Oh, you. Oh, you. Oh, you. Yeah. Oh, you.
You have been listening to Chelsea Bennett, aka Seyblu, performing live from our studios here at CIUT 89.5 FM, and that was Backwards and Caught Me by Surprise. Thank you again for being here, Chelsea.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, it sounds incredible.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, we have our lovely volunteer Bennett here helping out with the recording as well, and like, I don't know, maybe 5 times during that set, we were just looking at each other like, what is going on? That sounds incredible. Yeah, we were joking earlier, we need like a us reaction cam for those incredible riffs you got going on.
I wish that I could see that now.
Yeah, oh well, next time maybe.
Yeah.
I did want to talk a little bit about your role as a live performer here in Toronto, which I believe that's mainly what you think of yourself as, as a live musician. And you're involved in a couple different like institutions here in the scene, notably Chai and Jam, which is one of your projects, right? Can you tell me a bit about that and how it got going?
Yeah, Chai and Jam has been a project with my partner, my musical partner, Hashil. And Hashil and I met for the first time in Toronto and like really clicked like personality wise and said, we should hang out sometime. And the first time we hung out, we pulled out our instruments and we started jamming. And he's from an Indian classical background and I have a jazz background. So we were kind of immediately surprised at how easily we jammed together. I should say I play keys and he plays the bansuri, which is an Indian flute.
Fun.
And it was just crazy. It was kind of a revelation for both of us. And we thought maybe other people would want to do this too. So we decided to start Chai and Jam during the pandemic, which was pretty intense. We got a grant that was specifically for taking something that would have been a live performance and adapting it to be digital. So the first 2 seasons we actually did fully digitally. The first 1 season. Second season we did have an audience. And then once we had an audience, it sort of just built from there. And this year, every show sold out within the first few days of the tickets going up, basically.
What did those non-live performances look like? What was involved in?
Yeah, we just recorded everything with like a 3-camera setup and like multi-channel mixer, and like we just did the whole production properly.
Cool.
So they're all on YouTube, Chai and Jam, everywhere you can find them, and we're really proud of that. We really intended for the entire thing to be live, so we don't want to do that forever. Because it's a unique setup, I should say. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we pair up about 4 musicians, and we ask them to hop on stage after never having met before, and they improvise a concert. Cool. So it's usually 2 people who come from an Indian classical background. This year we had a couple of Persian musicians as well, and 2 jazz musicians, and then they literally, after having never met, get on stage, do a whole show, and then we usually have an open jam at the end or a separate event, and we invite the audience to come up too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that format of the like people meeting for the first time. I've seen Tapestry Jam a few times, and they do a similar thing.
Exactly like that.
So cool. Yeah. An amazing format. But I love that you open it up at the end, because I mean, it's such like inspiring material, seeing people just make really incredible music, and I always leave this like hyped and want to play music, and hey, that's kind of perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And people are really they're really moved by like that process of people meeting for the first time and having a shared language. Yeah. And then just being open to like whatever could happen, you know. It's like really special. So
totally. So you just finished up another season of that, right?
Yeah. Third season.
When season 4 coming?
So we don't know, because our tickets sold out and then oversold for each event. We were really surprised at how well that did. So we're hoping to do one in a shorter amount of time. We usually do them annually. Mm-hmm. And so instead of October, November next year, we're hoping to do one in the spring. So cool. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll keep a lookout. Is there a page people can go if they're interested in checking that out?
Yeah, Chai and Jam on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
So you're here talking about an upcoming album, but that's good. It's your second release, if I'm not mistaken, right? You've already put out...
Well, so as Chelsea Bennett, I put out an EP. As Seyblu, I put out an EP and like a bunch of singles.
Yeah, I want to chat about the EP a little bit.
Okay, sure.
Silk Sessions.
Yes.
From about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was doing some digging. I heard you recorded this in a cabin.
Yes.
Back in the hometown.
Yes.
Why this choice? I mean, it's really cool. Yeah. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's cool, but it's so practical for me that I get a lot of, they call it like red light fright or something, or like red light fear, where it's in a studio when the red light goes on and you start recording.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to, let's hide some of our...
Yo, it's fine. Things. No, this was a really cozy experience, but it's a weird thing where I feel very connected to performing live, and I kind of understand I understand the environment and the arena that you set up in. Whereas in a studio, I think it's just that I have so much more live performance experience, and I'm still gaining that studio experience, so I'm still figuring out what works for me and what doesn't, and how to make myself comfortable. And the only thing I know is that I'm very comfortable in a cabin in the woods, very comfortable in a cabin by the water. Yeah. So I brought my producer at the time, Adrian, aka Slow Jams. I was like, if you're cool with this idea. And he was like, I'm so cool with this idea. And I brought my photographer pal, Giselle, and we just went for a whole week. We recorded the whole EP, and it was beautiful. It was like a dream come true. I got a small creation grant from OAC to do it, which really helped. And then we ended up using so much of the environment in the music.
Oh, cool.
Which became also like this added sort of like a surprise that meant so much to me, because we didn't plan it. And we were there, and there were birds, and there was rain, and it was like all this beautiful stuff. So all that's in the album as well.
Man.
And what also was a kind of a surprise was that I rented a cabin from like an old family friend's company that I had heard they had cabins. So I was like, I'm going to rent from these people I know. Yeah. And then they put me in a spot that was on a lake that was across from my property my dad used to own. So I was telling my dad, we went out in canoes one day, and we were just like paddling through this marsh that was like across from the cabin. My dad was like, that's the marsh I used to own. Like that's the property where I used to have a bunch of like forest. Basically, he was thinking about building a cabin there, and then he ended up not doing it. But we were paddling through my dad's old like property while in the midst of that recording. So I mean that sounds like just like an ideal experience. It was really ideal, at least for me personally. It got the best vocal takes I've ever recorded in my life, I think. So really cool. Well, we're gonna hear some more of that amazing vocals from you now here live at Studio 2. And let's see, the next set we have Honest, 17, and a cover of This Is Love by Bob Marley. I have the same question about this set as the last one. Any context you want to give to these songs, and also why did you choose this cover? Yeah, I chose the cover because it's one that I've just been doing for a long time, that I feel really connected to. Corinne Bailey Rae does this version in 3/4 that just, I feel like it shook it up in all the right ways for me. So I mean, not much to say about the cover more than that. And the other two songs are songs I put out, I think, in 2022. I don't think they came out in 2023. I can't remember, to be honest. But I'll say a couple things just about 17 and Honest, that they came also from my songwriting challenges, where I just really wanted to allow myself to imagine different sounds for myself, because I think as artists, if you put something out and you get a positive response, you think, okay, I'll do more of that. And that's great. You can totally do more of that. But if you do have a desire to expand your horizon in some way, and you feel like there are other sounds that you're capable of, then you should also explore that, and also allow yourself to interpret a different almost identity for yourself, because that growth as an artist is going to be what makes you so special, I think, and so unique. So putting out more electronic tunes for me was a big leap, because I had never really done that before. But I was so certain. I was like, I really, really love this music. I'm just going to make it happen, Okay. So, well, so excited to hear them. This is Seyblu live from Studio 2 here on CIUT 89.5 FM. Why are you avoiding yourself? You're chasing all the rain clouds. What is the sound you make when you're alone and nobody is asking for the truth, for the truth, for the truth? So take a page out of your own book. You got days of diaries, but if you read them, it brings up anxieties. Take yourself out to lunch, 'cause I will not be your crutch no more. You couldn't be honest honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest. You couldn't be honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest. Couldn't be honest with yourself. Couldn't be honest. For years I followed you, like I thought that you had the truth, but enough is enough. I called your bluff, you had on us. Give back my stuff, you lost my trust. Couldn't be honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest. Take a page out of your own book. You got days of diaries, but if you read them, you know it brings up anxieties. Take yourself out to lunch, 'cause I will not be your crutch no more. You couldn't be honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest. You couldn't be honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest. Ooh, hey. Couldn't be honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest with yourself. Ooh. What part of me are you playing? I just can't see where you got so damn deceiving. You got me in all my feelings. What part of me are you playing? I just can't see where you got so damn deceiving. You got me in all my feelings. You got so damn deceiving. You got me in all my feelings. So take a page out of your own book. You got days of diaries, but if you read them, you know it brings up anxieties. Take yourself out to lunch, 'cause I will not be your crutch no more. Couldn't be honest with yourself. You couldn't be honest. Breathe slow for a minute. Feel how far you've come. No one can inhibit you. You're just growing up so soon. They're not really used to hearing your truth. The minister is not in your shoes. Ooh, you're swimming in deep water. Feel the weight of everything. Innocence is wearing thin. Ooh, it's time for you to conquer dreams that you have overseas. Nothing's ever guaranteed, so do it like you're 17. Don't follow the others. They don't have what you do. From the moment you begin, in your mama deep within, feeling all her burdens, father's old sins. Your mother is not in your skin. Ooh, you're swimming in deep water. Feel the weight of everything. Innocence is wearing thin. Ooh, it's time for you to conquer dreams that you have overseas. Nothing's ever guaranteed, so do it like you're 17. You're 17, you're 17, yeah. conquer. Dreams that you have overseas. Nothing's ever guaranteed. Do it like you're 17. You're 17. You're 17. Oh, you're 17. You're 17. Yeah. That I'm feeling, I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof over our head. We'll share the shelter in our single bed. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? That I'm feeling. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? I wanna know now. I wanna know. See, I'm willing and I'm able. See, I lay my cards on your table. I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with a roof over our head. We'll share the shelter in our single bed. We'll share the same room. For Jah provide the bread. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? That I'm feeling. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? I wanna know now. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna love you. I wanna
This
love
is
and
live from
treat
Studio
you
2 here on
right.
CIUT 89.5 FM. And you're listening to Seyblu, aka Chelsea Bennett. Thank you again so much for being here with us and sharing this incredible music. And
Yeah.
sounds incredible.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I want to take a good sec to just chat about the upcoming album, Daydreaming, which is releasing in this spring.
Mm-hmm. Daydream. Yeah.
My bad. Daydream, which is releasing in the spring. I just really wanted that rhyme in there.
Daydream.
Ing spring.
That's
There you
true.
go.
That would be
It's in there.
nice.
Oh, it's good.
Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you.
That's one of my favorite songs
Oh,
ever.
it's so good.
Great album.
That's also why you wanted to say daydreaming. I get it.
That's
I
yeah,
get it.
it's in there. But you have to differentiate yourself. Just daydream.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
Talk to me about
Yeah.
how this album came together. Let's chat about the writing process first. So it's 8 songs.
Yeah, it's 10 songs total. Yeah,
10 songs total.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 we're hearing today plus an
Yeah.
additional 8.
that's right.
That's a lot of material.
It's a lot.
Did this also come out of the same kind of process of,
Yeah.
these daily songs, or is this something that you specifically wrote down to be your next project?
So I think every song is from a Song a Day for a Month challenge.
Cool.
I really love doing the Song a Day for a Month. They really propel me forwards just to make without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're all from different months. I've done it, I think, 5 times or so over the course of a few years. And I kind of handpicked like which ones I liked the best and then decided which ones fit the best on an album. And there are some themes that continue, especially just because like I think my sort of my easy, I don't want to say like the easiest route of songwriting for me, but maybe like the thing that comes the most easily to me
Yeah, the most natural thing.
is like, sultry love songs.
Sure. Yeah.
But I surprise myself every month because there will be songs that are like very introspective, like honest, like where the whole concept is like you couldn't be honest with yourself. It's like supposed to feel a little intense while listening to it.
Okay.
Because I am talking about you. I'm talking about the people who have a difficult time handling something within themselves. And it's all of us. We all have something we don't want to look at that's difficult to manage. So yeah, it's important for me to keep doing those. And I got off track. I'm gonna just back up a second.
Sure.
So I picked all of my favorite songs from the Song a Day for a Month challenges, and one of them's called Daydream. I feel like that song embodies the album in a big way for me, so that's why I decided to call the whole album Daydream.
Of course. Yeah.
That's the short version.
Okay. The long version's also excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was the recording process like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I initially wanted to take this project to the producer that I was working with before, but this all happened during the pandemic, and the sort of concept for the album started to shift. Which songs were going to make it and not make it started to shift. And I was introduced again to Scott McConnell, who is somebody I went to Humber with many years ago, but we didn't really know each other. And then I thought, wow, Scott would do such a phenomenal job with this music. So I brought him on board, and then he and I basically got together to do some scratch vocals in order to like finalize arrangements. And then I took a band, like bass, drums, and keys into a fully analog studio, and we recorded all the bass tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, in analog, which was really fun and really challenging in a way that I hadn't expected. But it kind of laid the groundwork for the whole album to have a vibe that it made the whole thing mesh in the most incredible way. Yeah.
What were those challenges you encountered?
Dang, you really got to get me like that.
Or not.
No, it's fine. No, it's okay. I had rose-colored glasses about recording in analog.
Yeah.
And needed to learn the reason why people do that. I really love what I think sounds analog. And in today's digital world, you can do everything in analog without recording in analog. Or recording bits in analog is, that would basically give you the same effect.
Yeah.
And one of the things that sounds easy but is more difficult later is that once something's recorded once in analog, that's it. And
that's all you got.
that's what you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
And often what Scott and I encountered, because it's like 10 whole songs, is that there would just be pieces of stuff that were like, I wish we could change that. I wish we could go back and just, you know, there were like even errors in the recordings that like, they're just there forever. So we had to switch a lot of things, change a lot of drum parts, change a lot of bass parts, change a lot of keys parts, like on all fronts. And it's nothing to do with the musicians, because the musicians I had were phenomenal.
Who's on it?
Yeah, I'll shout them out. I've been working with all of them for a long time, except for the bass player actually. But Chiron Haynes on drums, incredible drummer in the city. Daryl Joseph Denny on keys, also been working with me for over a decade.
He's the coolest.
Yeah. and then Stacy Shopowitz on bass. All phenomenal players. But I really had to learn for myself just like what I wanted out of that experience. And yeah, I think I had to actually do it to really understand.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like such a process, and I'm sure all those challenges also led to creative decisions you wouldn't have made otherwise. And that's also a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And luckily, Scott has a studio of his own, my producer, who it ended up being such a great playground for us, where we could just like add all the things that we wanted and just have fun. And we just did like months and months and months of sessions, and now we're basically almost done.
Yeah.
So.
How does that feel?
Yeah.
Being on the other side of it.
Feels wild.
Yeah.
It feels bittersweet. Very, very bittersweet. I really love being in a studio just making all day. It's like the best. I love writing. I love arranging. I love producing. So that was just really fun. I kind of don't want it to end.
And now you get to promote the real
totally, which is feeling a bit like a heavy weight.
Yeah.
But also I feel incredibly privileged and so grateful to be in this position. I also got a grant from OAC, in order to do this album.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Art,
Ontario Arts Council.
Yes, Ontario Arts for recording.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean it helps tremendously. So I'm like excited and also, a bit sad that it's over.
Yeah. Well, we are very much looking forward to hearing this album. Really quick, would you like to plug where people can find updates, social media pages, newsletters, etc.? Yeah.
I keep my Instagram the most up to date, so at Seyblu, Seyblu. I'm on TikTok. And then the only other thing I try to keep the most up to date is a newsletter. I send one every few months or so when I have big performances or releases coming up. I usually send some exclusive content so people can see behind the scenes stuff that I don't post anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And at Seyblu, and seyblu.com is where you can get my newsletter. So check it out.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to get back into one last set, and we have 2606. What's it?
2606.
2606.
Yes.
And then Foggy, which is the most recent single off of this record. Once again, thank you so much, Seyblu, for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for this experience. It also feels like kind of special to come back to U of T for this. Like, not that I went here before, but just that like I have been visiting like Heart House and U of T for so long, and been listening to CIT for so long. So I'm honored.
Oh,
Appreciate
that's
it.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. This is live from Studio 2 on CIUT 89.5 FM.
Taking the distance right out of it made it kinda easier to see it fit. Now I'm closer than you know I'll ever be. Closer and I know it's really guaranteed. And I'm counting days, counting 26 hours and 6 minutes. Days, 26 hours and 6 minutes. Oh, we never thought that it would be this soon. You had a fight in 7 weeks, I know, but I got home before the border closed. Oh, now we can drive it, baby, I won't been 26 hours and 6 minutes. Days, 26 hours, 6 minutes. So we never thought that it would be this soon. You had to fight it 7 weeks, I know, but I got home before the border closed. Oh, now we can drive it, baby, I won't quit. You know I'm coming for you. You know I'm coming for you. Oh, baby, where you been? I've been thinking about you all night. Everything is foggy without you. Cool off, I cannot take much more. Every new decision, I feel more unsure. You know that it's too late to help the ones in need. Gotta break it down, go underground, and rebuild from the seed. Can't start from the middle and only get halfway. Building half a home, do you call that secure? When you're at the beginning, assembling every day, you'll see much more, so much more. Oh, calm down, you got me crazy. Can't see in front of me what was before. Oh, everything is so foggy. We keep repeating year after year. We smile through the pain, keeping the real feelings on the low. Can't fix it in a day, so where do we go from here now? Can't start from the middle, only get halfway. Building half a home, do you call that secure? When you're at the beginning, assembling every day, you'll see much more, so much more. Calm down, you got me crazy. Can't see in front of me what was before. Oh, everything is so far.